Guys, welcome back to our channel today. We are out on the river today. We aren't going to do too much filming out on the river. I'd like to get some material for my big setup that I got going on. I'd like to see how that setup works. So I'm on phase 1 right now of our sluice. I got a phase 2 coming. I'm just going to be a little high banker added to it. But first I'm going to try it out with the homemade power head that I built for the 12-inch and the 12-inch sluice. So today we're going to look for a good deposit in the sands here, and we're going to pick up 2 buckets worth of it, and we're going to see what we can do on that machine. I really love to test that out and see how that works before I do phase 2, because phase 2 is going to be huge, the amount of material we put through it. So yeah, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to find the deposit, we're going to get a couple buckets, and then we're gonna take them back to the shop, and you guys will either see me before we get back to the shop or when we get to the shop. I haven't decided yet quite what we're doing there. Today the river is calm. The water isn't as far down as it was last time we were out here, but the water is down. So again, we just gotta take caution, because last time there was bells going off when I was here last time. And I kept thinking the bells were Sunday church bells, but they weren't. They were actually the dam opening up. I didn't realize that, and it actually had rose 4 feet just within the couple hours that I was here. So we got to be very careful of that. If we hear those bells, we just got to keep an eye on the water, make sure the water isn't coming up. Last time my equipment ended up being underwater before I even knew it, and I didn't realize it. And so it just adds another factor to this river that we need to be careful of. I know I got some guys reaching out to me about where to go, and I've been getting back to them. And again, guys, if you guys are out here on the river, just be cautious about the river. Respect the river. I don't go in. I only go in about just above my knee. I try not to go in any deeper than that, because I don't trust this river at all. This river is constantly changing, and what the current looks like on top is not what the current is underneath. We just want to keep everybody safe on this river. I'd hate for anybody to lose anybody here. That's just not something we want, and not if we're encouraging people to come out here. Just remember, listen for the dam bells. Listen for the bells of the dam, and just know that is the dam opening or the dam closing. But just watch that water, just to make sure that you guys don't put you guys don't put yourselves in harm's way. So all right, well, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to classifying some buckets up. We're gonna look for a new deposit in this same stretch kind of that we were in before. It's about 100 yards away from where we were before. So we're gonna just find a new little deposit, which I'm pretty sure I got it figured out. So we're gonna do a couple pans, we're gonna classify some material, and we'll see you guys back at the shop. Hey guys, so I told you guys I was gonna see it to the shop, but I want to show this to you. So I have found something pretty interesting on this beach, and we're gonna do one more test pan to see if that theory is correct. But so multiple feet, good 20 feet from the spot that I was at previously, I dug, but in a line. I drew a line kind of straight. Actually, you really don't have to draw a line. If you look, see, well, it's hard to do, but see this rock, see this dark line right here? That line, I think, is filled with gold. This line is the pay layer right here. And I'm going to prove it, because I'm going to do another pan over there and see if that pan looks just like this pan. Look how dark that pan is. Look at all the irons in it. That's a dark pan. Now I'm going to pan this out, and we're going to see what we have. I'm going to see what we have in it. I'm going to do another pan over there, and I'm just going to kind of prove this theory, because I think that is the pay layer. So I'm going to do this pan, make sure. I'm going to do a pan over there, make sure, and then I'm going to classify some buckets. Alright guys, so I've taken 2 pans in 2 different holes and gold in every pan. Now that might not be exactly a pay streak. It could be up or down a foot or so from that, but the iron content in those holes are just insane. So we're gonna take 2 classified buckets worth. Remember that pay layer could change as you go down in the ground as well. So especially because all of this here has shelves, big rock shelves that come out and drop down. So it also all depends on kind of where that shelf lines up. I mean, I'm sure the gold could stop at that shelf. So if you could ride the top of that shelf, you might find pretty good gold. So, but I'm gonna take 2 buckets from 2 different spots here in this pay layer, and we are going to take them back and we're gonna put them through our new system, our phase 1 of our system, and we're gonna give it a try. Alright guys, we're back. We got our 2 buckets here of material from that spot. I have 2 of them here. They're about 3/4 full, not completely full, but we're going to try out our mega sluice. So we're going to get started right away, and because we got quite a bit of material to go through, and supposedly I should be able to run a lot through this in a little bit of time. So let's just try it out quick, see what it looks like. Now they say that these mats need a lot of water flow, so I got the pump turned up, and looks like it's collecting material pretty good. So I haven't caught a lot of the material right to here yet, first of all. So let's just put those 2 on here. Alright guys, so I might add a little bit of jet dry. It's been a while since I've had jet dry. That should be enough. So now, this sluice box, I have it set at a pretty good angle with a lot of water flow. We do have just a few leaks on our back here where we connected, which we're gonna do work out those kinks as we go through this project, but that's pretty cool though. Alright, we're going to continue to feed this and keep trying this thing out. Such a big setup that it should be able to handle as much material as we throw at it. You can see it's catching all the material. All right, guys, we're gonna run. I'm gonna run this one bucket, and then we'll kind of get back together here and see how that went. The first bucket did. Right now, we've done probably about 20 scoops onto here, and the black sands are thick in there. So we're gonna finish running this one bucket, and we'll see you guys after that. And we'll have one more bucket after that. All right, let's get to work, huh? All right, guys. So we have emptied this bucket. Bucket one down. We have one more bucket right here to go through. That's what it looks like so far. You can kind of see all the darkness right in here. Water's starting to get real dirty, but this material, the water is pretty dirty anyway. Just kind of feeling that feels like, but it's pretty dark materials. So yeah, we're gonna work on that bucket, that next bucket. We're gonna work on that one, and so far I like the speed of this. I'm hoping that this speed, you know, still saves us gold. Like we're still catching gold like we should. It's a dream mat. It's supposed to be one of the better mats out there. So we'll find out for sure, because we are gonna run another bucket through there, which is the first time I've been able to run 2 buckets through a power setup. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm just going to explain to you a little bit more about this sluice. All right, guys, so I built this out of tin. This is a 3-inch side. I folded it over, hemmed it, it's called, so it's not sharp. We got the 12-inch dream mat in here. That's 36 inches long. Then I built this power head. This is also out of tin. And it leaks a little bit, but it's just my first time making it. But I got two power jet here with a hose that comes up to a barb adapter, and then the pumps down in here. Now this is a controller for it, so we can control our speeds and turn it on and off. Yeah, so I am not against using tin at all, because it's a cheaper route to go, and why do we have to spend all this money on aluminum when we can use tin? This setup took me probably about a good week to kind of dial in. I was trying to dial in this piece, the header piece. That kind of took a little bit to make. Again, we're still going through some leak issues. Some things that I wish I would have did was I wish I would have made this whole sluice longer, so then this power head could fit all the way in here. That way the water would drip out but stay inside of the sluice. But that's all right. And then we got the stand that we got from Adam, and stand works out amazing. I got it into a huge tote here. That way it can hold all our water, and we can make sure we have proper water flow and not run out of water. We got jet dry in here. So far our water flow is really good. This actually has a 45-degree bend on it, so when the water comes in, the water strikes this side here and has to flow back down, and then I have a piece of miner's moss down in there, and then it kind of is helping level our water out a little bit. I think the system's working good so far, and we got one more bucket to run through it, and then we're gonna do a cleanup in here and see what we got in it. All right, well, we're gonna get running this bucket through. Now it's only about 3/4 full. Now I've been spacing it out a little. But heck yeah. We're gonna keep running her. All right, guys, we have gone through both buckets now. So both buckets are empty. We got our big XP pan here. Now, right now I'm just letting it run out a little bit. Just letting it kind of clean out completely. And then we're gonna take the mat out of here and we're gonna put this mat, I'm gonna try to clean out into a bucket. It's a little bigger, but we're gonna try to clean this out into a bucket. And I'm gonna fill this bucket up with water. That way we get it all into that bucket, then we'll take it from the bucket to the pan and we're gonna pan it out. I'm gonna let this run for just a few minutes just so it can clean out and see if we don't have too much excess material. And if we do have a lot of concentrates, then we're gonna take stuff from the bucket, we'll put it in the pan, and then we'll run it through the cleanup sluice in the shop. Today I'm in my 2-car just because it's a bigger setup and the shop's not built at the moment for that. So, all right, let this run a few minutes, put it in the bucket, put it in the pan. We're either gonna pan it out or we're gonna put it through a cleanup. Let's take the mat out and put it in this bucket and get it in the pan, huh? I'm gonna roll the mat up, I think. Oh wow. I think if I roll it up, we'll be able to put it right into the bucket like this. Alright. There's a lot of dirt in the bottom of the bucket. And we are in the shop now. A little better lighting in here. Look at all that material. Now I cannot believe that that system had that much material in it because it did not look like it when I was cleaning before I cleaned the mat out. So we are going to put this, that's right, through the cleanup sluice. Through my gutter cleanup, which this is something you guys can build as well. I should do a build on it just so you guys know how to build it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward on how to do it. But it'd be cheaper than buying all these really expensive sluices. But I love doing the custom stuff like this. I actually have some gutter pieces over here and suction dredge, hand suction dredge that I built that I still haven't done a video on. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. So we're gonna start running this through the cleanup sluice then, and we are going to do right where I keep my shovel. This shovel's been with us for a long time, guys. Isn't that just cool? We're gonna do one shovel at a time. Alright guys, we ran everything through the cleanup sluice. We're gonna put that matting into our black pan. See what we got in there. Okay. Over here. I can pull this mat out today. Don't want to mat out. Time to see what's in here, but we first get rid of some of that water that's in there. All right. You kind of see what the cleanup sluice leaves us. Leaves us just that little bit of material. So we're just gonna pan it down. Now we got jet dry in there this time, so we don't have to worry about none of that stuff floating for us. Now this is going to be the test of phase 1. So just going to pull it back. Alright guys, I'm going to show you just a little sneak peek of this. Whoop. Look at that gold. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Alright guys, that is so awesome. I'm gonna pull this back. I'm gonna completely clean this up, and then I'm gonna bring you guys back in because this is awesome. Now this is 2 buckets from like 20 feet from where we were digging before. So, and this is our setup to see how much gold is actually on the Wisconsin River. That's how we're gonna find out. All right, guys. Whoop. That is our cleanup. Look at that. That is awesome. That is good gold. 2 buckets. Guys, well, we have tested phase 1, and phase 1 works out pretty good. We're actually going to be running quite a few buckets through that phase 1. That's what I'm calling that sluice, is phase 1. Now, the gold that we got, when I was panning it down, I was pulling it back, there was a lot dropping. So it might not be 100% what's there, but that is a pretty good amount for it being only 2 buckets worth. So, and that was from about 20 feet from my hot spot where I was digging. But it's right in the same line of rocks. There's like big boulders that are in the distance. Like, they're not all right next to each other, but they're in the distance. And also in that part of the river, there seems to be cobbles. The whole beach is cobbles in that part of the river, which is very interesting as well. And I tested out some other spots here where there's actually a ledge under the sand, because that sandstone, it gets ledged from all the water running through it, and it actually is ledged down below where we were actually standing. So can you dig down to the ledge, and would the gold be better at the ledge? Is the ledge acting as a false bedrock because there's no clay layer in there? So these are all questions that we are going to figure out and find out. So this gold that we found here is awesome gold. It's awesome because it's from the Wisconsin River. And you know, if you guys have seen from my videos, I'm all about the Wisconsin River. I really am, because I lived in Wisconsin my whole life. Granted, I'm only 28, but I lived here my whole life and never once thought that there was gold in Wisconsin, or gold on the Wisconsin River for that matters. When I was a kid, my great uncle, he used to talk about how there was gold on the Mississippi River because he lived down there in Viroqua. And I just, you know, I never once thought about that. He always said the creek that ran through his property, he's pretty sure there was gold in it and all this stuff. But I've never thought anything of it until all of a sudden one day I started picking up gold panning and started panning. So I always thought that Nugget Lake was where all the gold was at, and then I found gold on Wisconsin River. It took me a couple times to figure out where it was at, and I think I'm kind of starting to understand the Wisconsin River sands and how they are. Starting to understand that more, and once I understand the layers and kind of where they are on that beach, I'm gonna go to a totally different part of the Wisconsin River, like totally different part of it, and I'm gonna try there, and I'm gonna go there multiple times, and I'm gonna figure out if the river is reading the same, because it's gonna be awesome to find all this gold on the Wisconsin River, and I will bring you guys along for the adventure. So I just also want to say to you guys that you can buy really expensive sluices to start out with, or you can build your own. I know that we see on YouTube, we see all these people that build these gutter sluices and stuff like that. I have built those. I have built gutter sluices. I have used former drain, which they use to form up footings. I've used that before, and it works. And I don't know if I still have a piece around here somewhere, but this gutter sluice that I have now, I had bought this sluice, or I got it as a gift, and I bought a whole bunch of other gutters to build my own, and I do plan on building my own gutter sluice, but that was so cheap. I mean, you could buy a big stick gutter for $5 and then buy an end cap for it, get a pump, make sure you get your right fittings you need, and you can put it together. And buy your matting. You can buy the matting in 2 foot by 4 foot pieces, and you can cut them down to whatever sizes you want. I got quite a bit of matting here that I use to cut down to build some of my sluices. It's awesome. Like I built, phase 1 was built with tin, like galvanized steel is what it was built with. And at work we got a fender and stuff like that, so they gave me some metal that I could use, and I bent it up and designed it to fit this mat. I even wanted to build the header myself, so I took the header that Adam had given me, the 10-inch header, and I copied that completely, just sized it to a 12-inch to fit that sluice, and it works amazing. And like I said, we can build sluices, we can build cleanup sluices. I'd like to build a pan. That'd be awesome to try to do. Just build a simple pan out of galvanized steel and weld it together and see if it works. I also would like to build more stands. I built my one stand out of PVC, and that works awesome, and that's for my gravity sluice. And we're going to be using the gravity sluice more often, just because it's a way for us to use it out on the river. But we're gonna triple the size of it, and we're gonna see what we can do. Zeke and Caitlin on YouTube here, I can't remember the new name to their channel. They just changed the name, but I'm gonna see if Zeke will help me out with that big gravity setup, and see if maybe they can meet us down there and we can do a big run with this gravity system. Because think about it, 2 buckets through that system, through phase 1, gave us this much gold. Can you imagine if we could just sit on the beach and just shovel into it? And just shovel and shovel into it. Me and Zeke both just shovel into it, and then just have 2 of us to fill the water. But we need to triple the size of the one that I have now. So we need to triple it up and triple the tank size, triple the water, and it's gonna be awesome. And I hope he sees this, and I hope he thinks about that. I haven't said anything to him yet, but he's a pretty good guy, so he'll probably help out. But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for subscribing to me. Thank you guys for watching my videos. Thank you guys for being around. I just been pretty busy lately, but we are getting that gold, you know, just getting that gold. All right, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.